Oh, okay, now it actually works. Amazing. Okay, cool. The YouTube stream is working. Perfect. So now we can actually get to doing stuff. So, okay, we can, yeah, let's get rid of this stuff. Like alternative hacker vision view. Right, and I'll just put it on like, create branch, like, okay, go away pop-os. Experimental, and I'll probably never ever see this again. And that's fine. Wait, what are the branches here? Oh, okay, because I was on that. Yeah, I think I can just delete those now. I only need one of them. So yeah, we can just delete the 2D overlay branch because I won't use that. Okay, and then... Okay, let's delete like a lot of these branches that I don't use. I don't need. Right. And then we can try to close this. So let's check out this. And I want to merge this into devices. Yeah. Okay. So like let's get merge. Wait, what? I have no... Okay. I really hate VS Code sometimes. It's very annoying. Okay. And then we can push that. Yes. Internet can do its thing. And then... Okay, I'll like... I'm actually kind of bored of being like on a branch the whole time. I think it's really annoying. So let me check out this then as well. And I'll get merge devices. Wait, what? Oh, okay. I was just being stupid. Right, now I can like delete every branch that I don't need because we're putting all of that behind us. And like the only thing I'm leaving is the experimental branch, which I probably won't even use. Yes, okay, cool. And we can push that. Oh, we also don't need these branches anymore. Whoops. I also hate that when it like force scrolls this view while I'm doing something like... I'm sure VS Code could just not do that. Seems unnecessary. Okay. Look at this horrendous git log. Anyway, okay. So we are on this branch. And I think that's fine. Yeah, okay. I changed my mind. That's a fine branch to be on. That's just left hanging. Yes. And then Godot will probably have a fit when I reopen it. It did. Maybe best to like close that. Let's not save any of that. And then, yeah, we can reopen Godot. Okay, actually, no. Being on this branch is really stupid. Okay, and it just means I'm on a branch forever, so let's... Okay. Right. Okay. Let's merge that. Okay, and then, yes, let's push. Because there's not really any point being here on this branch. That's just annoying and unnecessary. Okay, now we can... We'll probably be annoyed again. Okay, so as far as our steps, we're done. Okay, now I want a new area. I do. And I want to make some... Yes. Okay. So in our museum, we have the floor, the table, the wall. I'm just going to make a new wall and move it, like, over here. We'll do our testing over here. Cool. Maybe I should make that. Actually be 90 degrees would be nice. And move the player over here too. And turn them around. Okay. So now... If it loads... Yes. Okay, cool. We're just in front of a new wall. Perfect. But let's call this new wall. We can get rid of this. We don't need that. And the door is, yeah, over here. That's fine. Okay. I guess we should probably rebake that. Nice. So now I think we should make some devices that are super simple. Yes. So I think we can just make a light switch that just has an output to a light. That would probably be quite good. So yeah, let's add that. Okay. So there's like Omni lights, right? Yep, cool. Okay, and we can maybe make it a different color to make it kind of obvious. Oh, also, yes, I should add that. Okay, also we need alarms. Okay. Yeah, let's just make this, I don't know, blue or something. And like super strong. Oh, I don't want it to be that. I don't want the contrast up. I don't know how to do that. Not by that. Oh, I guess I can turn the attenuation down. Yeah, that's funny how it kind of makes a difference on the floor more than the wall. I suppose the wall is white, so that makes some sense. Okay. Maybe to 0.1. Or maybe just to 0 actually, and just up the range. Sky bright. Okay, well, at least we know it's on then. And then we can add... Let's add a new... Probably a static body and call this light switch. And we can add... Yeah. A mesh, as always. And it can just be a box mesh. Okay, let's move this over here. Oops. Okay, and then make this all like infinitely smaller. Okay, is that at the correct height? I'm gonna assume no. Oh, that's actually fine. Okay. Doesn't really look like a light switch. But we can make it a bit taller in one dimension. And a little bit thinner. And then, yeah, sure, that works. And let's maybe make it a different color so we can just see it. Like, I don't know, black. There you go. I wish this defaulted to primitive, because, like, why would I ever want to use tri-mesh if primitive is an option? It just seems, like, stupid that that isn't first, but anyway. Cool. And now we can use the same logic that we used for the keypad over here to make this pressable. This can actually just be a button. That's so true. Because here I already have buttons and they already have some stuff. Like they already have all this logic for being an interactable. Right. Wait, what does this do? Oh, okay, it has that. But really, a physical button shouldn't do that. Perhaps. I feel like it would be better if this did a custom function that can be defined by like inheritors or... Yeah. I mean, actually, I suppose it doesn't really matter. We can just have a light switch and we can just define it here. I suppose that is kind of the behavior I already have. So yeah, that's probably fine as it is. Okay. So we can go exactly. I'm just going to put this in like a new folder for now, and I'll reorganize it with the old stuff later on because I kind of can't be bothered. Let's just go like new simplified devices. And yes, we can go to main and go to light switch, and bam, a light switch in new simplified devices. Cool. And then I think actually we don't really need to worry about like masks or anything, because if we just copy paste this down here and like, right, it just needs to inherit from my interactable and be in the right namespace. And then it probably, oops, will work. If we, yeah, now we can just implement this, right? Yeah, I don't actually need this because it's all defined here. So that's good. And then we'll just have to have an export private device. Oh, I suppose you can't. Okay, yeah. You have to do the weird thing for such cache. Right. You kind of have to do, well, maybe not that. Yeah, like this, because you can't export interfaces in Godot. So we now have the device. And then I guess all devices do have a shutdown. So I guess when you press it down, you just device.shutdown. But I was also thinking like it might be nice to have all of the devices. Yeah. I should probably think about that. Like it would be nice to have a list of functions which all take in different types of object within iDevice. And then the device can just decide which ones it wants to implement. So then you could, right, like for example, we could have like public, okay, what is public void like input string, and then like okay, oh, I suppose I could overload the function name, so it doesn't really matter, but you could have things like this, and then also input like int, and then also input like, I don't know, even if you want something complicated that could be like a custom class, right? It doesn't actually matter. And then if the player wants to connect a device that outputs integers into a device that can't input integers, that's fine. It just won't do anything, and you could just try catch the error. But you are allowing the player to do that if they want. But thinking about that now, I think that's probably a very bad idea, because you would then have to like pass errors to the user, and that just seems like truly awful to have to deal with that, and communicating what isn't allowed would be really difficult. Because I think how Gunpoint does it is there's like different layers to the level that you can unlock. So you can like unlock more devices to use. But it's super simple in that all devices are just like sending a binary signal of like, this device is activated now. There's no like complexity with what the device is sending. It's just sending a signal. And a signal just means that the device activates. So I think, yes. Oh, also I should, yeah, I suppose maybe that's some nuance here of like, I'm also going to have to like remove the, yeah, I suppose maybe combine like networked connections and physical connections. I think having a difference between them is maybe like nice in theory, but it's just overcomplicated and does not need to be done at the moment at all. So I should definitely remove that. Definitely remove that. So, okay. Anyway, that's a lot of waffle. I don't think I'm going to do this for now. Let's just keep everything as simple as it can be. So, what we'll do, yeah, I mean, this actually does the correct thing, right? If we then make a new device to be this OmniLight, let's make it a bit more obvious where it is. Okay, and then, oh, I suppose, Yeah, let's just call it that. Suppose this isn't necessarily bad because I'm namespacing it. But Godot still complains. I'm pretty sure anyway. Yeah. If you, like, even if you do, like, this, which is kind of correct, does Godot still doesn't like it? I don't know why that doesn't like it. What's the issue? Wait, am I just allowed? Yeah, I'm allowed to define a class like that. I suppose maybe I'm just being dumb and that's not allowed in C#. I don't know. But we can leave it like that. And it definitely needs to implement iDevice. Okay, and actually it doesn't really matter about anything for now. What we just do is, like, visible is true on boot, and here visible is false. Right, and I guess you just return void. I think you can return null tasks. Yes, okay, cool. Maybe that's bad. I don't know. Because this is sometimes awaited. But I think it's only awaited by... Oh, it's actually not awaited by anything. Oh no, it is awaited by that. What happens if you try to await null? Let's see what happens. Oh, it says you cannot await null. But if I have, like, let's do some testing. Right, and then just await test. And then just make this async. Right, I don't know. Will that give us a runtime error? I assume it probably would. But it's fine for now. So the device we want to turn off is this Omni light. Yes, okay. So let's see if that works. No, I actually want to see what this error was. Okay, yeah, it just maybe rather expectedly. It just errors that it's not set to an instance. Oh, that's fair enough. Okay. Yay, okay, cool. So yeah, I should probably turn this to a toggle. Makes much more sense for a light switch. to be a toggle. But yeah, that does work. But then I don't know. That's amazing point. If like I don't have a way of tracking if a device is on or off at the moment, which seems like a fundamental thing that I definitely should implement. Okay, so let's do that. On. Yeah, I suppose that's fine. Okay, now literally everything will complain at me, but that's fine. I can just... This is super easy. Oops. I can just implement... I can just return visible for the light. Like, that's super easy. And yeah, we can just go if device dot on. Maybe we should wrap this in a setter for device dot on. Nah, I think it's fine. And this is device dot boot. Okay, and then we can have this Omni light. Yeah, which does work. Oh yeah, we had to return null for that reason. Okay. So now we probably want to go to everything that implements iDevice, which will be like a lot of things. Oh, actually, I suppose I can just run this and it'll error and tell me where they are. Cool. Yeah, I suppose I kind of do have to implement this way, because what a device, what means a device being on or off is kind of nuanced. So I think that, yeah, probably should be implemented by the object itself rather than by a device. Yeah, I think that's fine. Actually, I suppose these should just, yeah, because actually being on just means that it's able to be interacted with. And like, I haven't actually implemented any of that at the moment, apart from for light. So yeah, I should definitely just, you should just throw not implemented, because they are not implemented. So this can just automatically do what it wants, it's fine. Okay, so now if we run this, this should toggle between the light being on and the light being off. Yay, okay. Cool. But if we go to Activision, there's nothing. There's only these things still. So we have a system for that, but let's... Yeah, I think this is fine. I'm just thinking now, if I want to make this show up in this hacker version now, in like a simplified way, I probably do. So there's some like tearing there, even though I have VSync on. I don't know if that's my setup, or if it's the actual game. That's kind of annoying. Oh well. So yes, so we have this light switch which turns on and off, and I want to be able, so basically the next step that we want to do, wait, that's still throwing it. Oh, okay, there's some implement, yeah, I've just been stupid. Yeah, like, exactly, release is actually fine, should just, doesn't need to arrow there. So the next thing, I think we can commit this. Let's maybe put it on a branch and just go like beat, or like add simplified devices. Yes. And we can just go like beat light switch. Is that spelled correctly? Yes. Suppose I could zoom in a bit. Might help. It is now. Okay. And then we can say, I guess, yeah, just like add basic working light switch. Yeah, that controls one light. Cool. Okay. So that's the start. Now I want to be able to see this in the different alternative view. And I also want to change the... Yes, I want to be able to change what the light switch is connected to. So we probably need more than one light. That would actually really help. Yes, we should definitely do that first. Okay. So yeah, let's add maybe a node 3D. And put it where this light is. And then we'll just call this like a device light. Something like that, yeah. And yes, we probably want to mesh because I want to know where it is. Seems useful. Right, maybe like 0.5 in those directions. Yeah, okay. Obviously this looks awful for now, but I don't really care about that at the moment. It doesn't really matter. And I guess if we put the light a bit below, then we'll actually see it. Yeah, let's see if this is a good visualization. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Super simple. Super simple. And then now I want another light. So yeah, I suppose yeah, I mean the device actually is the light. So this is like a light. No, that's fine. Okay, and we can move this light over here. Yes, and we'll have it initially turned off. Oh, that's true. That's that maybe should be. I suppose that can be implemented, yeah. Kind of easily. Private ball, okay, start on. Yeah. Equals true by default, probably. And then we can have a ready, which goes, yeah. If start on, then just make visible as true. And else. Oh, I suppose, yeah, this is kind of stupid. Just go visible as start on. Okay. Cool. So. And then, yeah, we can make this one. I don't want this light to start on. So let's just. Yeah, cool. And let's check that works. Which I'm sure it does. Yes, okay, it does. Perfect. So maybe I should make this a spotlight and then it might be a bit easier to see. Yeah, actually, this should just be. Is light 3D a thing? No. Oh, okay, you kind of can't do that. Well, I mean, we can use Spotlight 3D. I think they look a bit nicer. Let's rename this to be. Oh, I don't think anything else actually uses that, but that's fine. And change the type to a Spotlight 3D. And I don't want it to face like that. Let's also change this one. I definitely want them to face downwards. Like that. And I just want it to be like no, yeah, there we go. Okay, this is way more obvious to me that this is a light. Having this horrendous blue color is maybe not the best. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. And yeah, that's fine. Okay. And then this Omni light can, yeah, come down as well. And we can remove the horrendous. Right, this can be wide as well. And we can maybe. Yes. Okay. Oh, yeah, we changed the attenuation. There we go. Okay, this is not very physical attenuation. That's fine. Okay, and then this will now maybe be a bit more obvious that this is a light. Yes, okay, although this one's still on. That's bad. Oh, because I've renamed this thing. Okay, yeah. The script has to be the same name as the class, otherwise Godot doesn't like you anymore. Okay, now neither of them are on. Okay. Hey, what? Why is that happening? Right? Wait, this one starts on, and that one starts off. So, on ready? Like, I don't understand. Maybe I should just print what's visible. See if that works. They're both false. Interesting. Even though this clearly says that it does start on. Okay. Maybe there's something else going on. Let me double check that something else is not broken. What does that print? I assume 4 falses. Yes, it does. Okay. Maybe I should just rebuild this. And like detach this. I'll just I'll just do that actually. And go to this. Okay, I just removed the script from both of them. Maybe Godot is just being weird today. And then we can just have one of them start off and make sure that the light switch. Oh, the light switch isn't attached. Okay. Cool. Oh, okay, cool. Now it works. Thanks, Godot, for doing randomness. Okay. That doesn't do anything. Okay, that's bad. Oh, because I've exported. Yeah, that's just stupid of me. I just clicked the wrong node. Okay, and now the light switch does do something. Kind of like a light switch should. Okay, perfect. That was a lot of faff, but literally nothing. Now we might. I think it is. Okay, yeah. So now I just want to. Okay, I'm just gonna say that we're gonna get rid of this one. And we're gonna keep. Oh, I don't know. Maybe we can keep this. I think I need a better way of registering what the connections are that exist. But I'll get onto that in some other time. Right, and go exactly .register. Oh, okay, yeah, I suppose. That's gonna be the condition then. Should be between this and... Oh, the spotlight shouldn't be registering this, that's stupid. The light switch should be registering the connection. Yes. Yeah, the light switch should register the connection. Okay, cool. So it should be between this and device. Maybe this isn't a device? Okay, that's weird. Wait, is that actually... See, now I'm thinking, like, should all interactables have to be devices? That's a good question. Because... like, this light switch, I don't know, I feel like adding iDevice to it will add loads of bloat. But I suppose it does more accurately represent what it is. It's an interactable device. Like, it should be controllable in a way. And you should be able to deactivate this. So, like, I think shutdown kind of does have a meaning here. Right. Yeah, I suppose. And it doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't hurt. It just means we can... Yeah, I'll just leave it like this for now. Maybe I should change this to be like just arbitrary 2 things. But I don't know about that. Okay. So now there should be... in this, yay, okay, cool. A nice red line between this and this. Maybe it should be the other way around. But I think that's an issue for another day. So I don't think I'm even going to keep this kind of visual of these moving things. I think it looks a bit stupid. And it should maybe just be a straight line. But I don't know. I think it looks okay there. I think that looks fine. It should definitely be the other way around, but it looks okay. Maybe it being red is kind of unintuitive as well, but we'll get onto that another point. So now I want to be able to click a button whilst looking at this, and then click a button here, and then that adds a connection between this device and this device. Yeah, also, I suppose I could redo all devices and have them be like input or input output. And that might make more sense, rather than having them all clumped into just one thing called device. And I suppose that's kind of what some of my classes were doing. Because I have like interactable, which could then be an input device. And then device, which can be input output. And then I could have an output device. Maybe that would simplify things. But I think for now it's fine. So yes, I want to be able to click something. Yeah, that turned the light off, right? Yeah, okay, it still works. I want to be able to click like, I don't know, right click maybe? Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. Right click, and then right click another thing. And if they're both iDevices, then I should add a connection to both of those and register the connection as well. Maybe, I know Gunpoint, the 2D game, has like click and drag. So you would like hold the button to do that. And then you would like spawn in a line between where you started and your current mouse position. Guess you could just do like a meter in front of the player's face or something until it snaps on. But then I'd have to do like snapping. I suppose maybe that would be fine actually. It would just be like if it interacts, it snaps to it. And if not, then it's 1 meter in front of the player's face. But that sounds maybe. I mean, I think I can do that later. I think I just want to make it functional. And that is definitely not necessary for functionality. So yeah, we can do that. So I think let's do that now. So I definitely do have some raycasts already that I'm using for the player. Like I have a player interact raycast, but I think this already does stuff. I mean, it's doing something very simple. So yes. Actually, yeah, let's just commit this. Okay, light switch. Okay, like display light switch connections in HackerVision. Okay. So, and I wonder what's, yeah. Okay, so now I think I'm trying to work out if I should reuse this. Probably not. Oh no, actually I think it's fine. Yeah, I think we can reuse this. Okay. Is action just pressed something like, what should we call it? Create new device connection? Yeah, sure. Okay, and get collider is device. Is iDevice. MD. Then yes, we can then just have iDevice last clicked device. Probably is a good name. And we can just store that. Equals device. Yes, okay, I'll come back. I think I want to split this. So I want to go like exactly. I actually want this to be an else. And then I want to go if last click device is not null. I then want to do like, I'll worry about the actual logic in a second. I just want to like show that it works. Register physical connection between last click device. Oh, actually, no, this can be here. Yes. Okay, this can be here. And then this can just be an else. Okay, device. And then we just make exactly last click device equals null. I suppose I could invert this if, but yeah, it might make more sense actually. No, I think this makes sense. Yeah. So if you've clicked something, then we can register this. I think this should just work. We just need to map this to right click. Cool, done. Now we should be able to. Okay, so let's go here. Go bam, bam. Okay, it didn't work. Bam, bam. No. What's the thing? I guess we want to probably check for that. Guess we need, this probably actually needs to be like, are they compatible to be connected? But right click and then right click. Nothing happens. That's so annoying. Okay, well, let's print. Actually, yeah, let's just turn on this and see. Just like print that we're here. See if that works. Okay. So we're there. So that's stored. What? That isn't an iDevice? Why not? Should be a, oops, like a DF light. Like this is an iDevice. But maybe this doesn't. Oh, I'm being stupid. The raycast only interacts with that. Yes. Hmm. Right, so the raycast only interacts with bodies. So I'm just trying to think how I want to reparent things without messing what I've already done. So I guess we kind of have to change this to be. Yeah, okay. Let's actually, no, that makes it more flexible. Let's do this. And then now, the light we're exporting can just be anything. It doesn't actually matter. Cool. Okay. And now, rather than visible, oh, actually, I suppose it doesn't really matter as long as it's a child. Yeah, that's fine. And now we can just change this to be like a device like 3D. That makes way more sense as a name. Yes. Device like 3D. Okay, cool. Oh, it's been destroyed. Wait, what? Oh, and DF spotlight. This can just be deleted. Cool. Okay, so now we have our Omni light. Now we actually don't want that. We want to change this to be an area 3D. Okay, and then primitive sibling this. Yes, exactly. And remove this. Yes, okay. Device light 3D. Remove this. Change this as well to be an area 3D. And add primitive collision and move that. Okay, cool. Maybe this will build, I don't know. Let's find out. It did. And now I don't want that to be that. I want it to be the light itself. Okay. So yeah, I think that worked. Let's see if it did. Okay, now they're both on. That's bad. And that still doesn't work. Okay. Maybe it's a mask issue. Nope. Oh, because it doesn't collide. It only collides. Okay, let's just turn it on to collide with areas as well. Yay! Okay, now it actually connects. So now I can do that and that. Yay! Okay, perfect. So that worked. But I guess I could also like add more connections. That might be bad. Also, I guess I can add a connection between those two. Right? Yeah, I can. Which doesn't make any sense. But it worked. It worked. Okay, so now we register the connection, but there's actually another thing we need to do. I think we need to do, if they're already connected, right, we have to disconnect them and remove the visual. Otherwise, right, yeah, this always happens. Add a connection and add in a new visual. But here, exactly. So actually just close everything other than the light switch, because right, the problem now is that this, like, our raycast doesn't know how the device is implementing the interaction. And I want to do this in a nice way. So I guess the easiest thing, right, is to create a method for device that's just like private void, public void activate, right? It's just like the device does the thing. Or we could actually make it so that interactables. Nah, I think that's a bad idea. I was going to say that we could make it so interactables have to be the start point of the lines we're making, and the devices have to be the endpoints. So these are like the inputs and then the outputs. But I think that's bad because you might want a device that isn't interactable to be able to control other stuff. And you would still want to be able to modify that in the game. So I think that that's probably bad as an idea. But for now, I definitely can just do what I was saying by like device. Like, what methods does device actually have? Right? Like, it just has turning on the device, turning off the device, and whether it is on or off. Okay, maybe that should be there. But I think also we should have something that is, yes, I suppose in most cases, the function I'm about to write will just be from an eye interface towards an eye device. But I think in the future, that might not necessarily be the case. So I should just leave it here. So I think what we should do is go public abstract void, like send signal, right? And then like all devices have to do this. Yes. I think that works. Works for now at least. And that's kind of all we need. So exactly. So now this interactables thing can be send signal. Okay, which I haven't implemented, but that's fine. We can implement it now. And exactly. Actually, I need what I just deleted. It's kind of stupid. Oops. Yeah, let's cut this and put this in here. So like the light switches signal is always just to turn a device on and off. I don't know if I like this, but we're going to go with it for now. Okay, and then there'll be a million things to check. So yes. Okay, so now what we can do I think this is more complicated than I'm making out. Because actually it doesn't work like this. Yes, it doesn't. I think I have to do this slightly differently. Actually, yeah, I suppose let's just carry on. Okay. So okay, like physically contains last click device, right? And let's give me some link you. Okay. Or let's rename this to new connection start. Because there should be a directionality here. Right? And we're connecting exactly. So the end connection. Yeah, like new connection end. Yes. Okay, and then we have to swap these two. Okay, it's new connection end. Right, they're already connected, so we should... Exactly. Should literally just write this. Remove. Wait, what? Why doesn't that... Delete. Oh, I have to do this. Yeah. Okay. Obviously, this actually doesn't do anything at the moment, but that's okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's copy this line and bam it in here. And we can then remove physical connection. Cool. Otherwise, I'm kind of nesting my F's here. I'm well aware of that. I should probably not do that, but that's fine. Put this here. Okay. And then we want to do like new connection starts, dot append, or dot add, or dot physical, dot add to, or dot append. New connection ends. Cool. What's the issue? What is this output? Oh, wait, okay, I have to. Wait, it's read only? True, okay. I mean, I'm kind of tempted just to put a set here and say that's fine. Yeah. Okay, there's going to be like a million errors now. Okay. So let's just go through and implement these. Just to shut it up. We actually know we'll need to write all of these at some point. Wait, this is so stupid. Should have just changed this. Easy. This is what I'm going to need. Yes. Oops. Yeah. Just bam that in there. Okay. Cool. Just remove those private. Yes. Okay, go. Oh, and it still has something else to implement now. What does it need to implement? Oh yeah, this new thing. I don't know. This might actually just be deleted eventually. Can't do that. Oh, I suppose I don't even need this get set. Oh no, I do. I do. Okay. Maybe that will now build. It does. Cool. Okay. So now we should be able to remove connections as well as add them. So let's see if that works. Okay, well, that's broken. Oh, okay. It changes. Yeah, it does. That's actually wrong. It makes the whole thing invisible. This visible should be light 3D, not visible. And then we can connect this in. We have this one, and we have this one. And now that should work less badly. Yes. Cool. And clicking this doesn't turn off the light. We can see this. Now if we right click and right click, okay, that didn't work. Okay, that did give me an error though. Actually didn't. Okay, that's nice of it. Okay, so we can add the new connection. And we can delete that one. Oh, okay. Oh no, we can't delete that one. It just doesn't want to work? Oh, okay. Because I think I kind of understood why that was, because this device... Yeah, I think we kind of do need a notion of what is allowed to give an output and an input. But we don't need that for now. But yeah, I think actually what happened exactly, this, I needed to dot add device, right? Wait, what's this device even for? Oh, okay, the device it's controlling. Okay, but the device, this light switch, will control. Oh, okay, yep, I'm being really stupid then. So this should just always be this. But it should be a ref to that. Yeah, I don't know if that's possible. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's fine for now, I suppose. Okay, exactly. It should always just be this. Okay, even after we update device, it should still just always be the list of the device. Yes. That is true. Okay. So that should now work better because... What did I press F6? I should be fine. Now I suspect that this should be deletable. Yes, okay, cool. Can't remake it though. Great. And it doesn't do anything now. It does still do something. Yeah, because I haven't remade... Exactly. So now, exactly, so I've... Cool, so I've got the logic down for what I need it to do, but it isn't actually doing the logic yet. Because this just changes what's in the list. It doesn't change the actual behavior. Which is actually kind of difficult to do. Because what the connection means is going to be dependent, could be dependent on what the devices actually are, right? Connecting like a laptop to a CCTV camera is going to mean something different to connecting a light switch to a light, right? Like they're both going to be one-shot things, like we send that. But I think this is where we need the notion of input and output devices. Like, I think iDevice, rather than this send signal, should have an input device and an output device, right? And every, but I suppose some devices might need multiple inputs or multiple outputs. That's kind of confusing. Okay, but I think we've done some good work today. And we can finish this up another day. So I will do that.